Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 287 based on novel. So let's start. His peak mid-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivator origin energy swept across planet Dalu like a storm. A vortex formed with Wang Lin as the center. This vortex howled as it surrounded the entire planet. This suddenly made every Dalu sword sect disciple feel like a mountain was pushing down on them. Their spiritual energy began moving on its own to resist. It was as if they wouldn't be able to withstand it if they didn't do this. From a distance, there seemed to be a crazy vortex above planet Dalu. Wang Lin was at the center of the vortex with his hair flowing in the wind. His hand was behind his back as he raised his head up and looked at the sky. His eyes shined brightly, as if they contained the brilliant starry sky within. This gaze fell into the eyes of the Dalu sword sect disciples, and he was like an eternal existence to them. Wang Lin just calmly stood. He calmly looked at the sky and calmly comprehended the comprehension in his heart. Could that life be my previous life? As Wang Lin pondered, he was immersed in everything he saw when he raised his foot before the heaven-defying door. Source origin. What is source origin? That bird is not my previous life, but a living symbol of my mentality. That bird died to a python. What does that mean? Wang Lin frowned. He still couldn't figure it out, but he seemed to have grasped some clue. This was merely a small completion due to the heaven-defying bead absorbing the extreme yang. If I want to see all of it, I need it to absorb yin energy and reach full completion. Presumably, I'll have an answer then. Wang Lin took a deep breath and his eyes shined. It doesn't matter if the All-Seer was scheming against me or Ling Qianhu, he was wrong this time. The trap has been broken. Wang Lin sneered and stepped toward the void. His gaze swept past the giant tower Ling Qianhu was in. A giant hole had appeared on the side of the giant tower. There were still remains of origin energy fluctuations. Every time the heaven-defying bead opens, it requires an enormous amount of origin energy. When it activated this time, the origin energy in the area wasn't affected, yet Ling Qianhu escaped in a hurry. The time of his escape matches when the two rays of light shot out from the heaven-defying bead. It is obvious one of them went after Ling Qianhu. Wang Lin took a step and left planet Dalu. Who was the target of that other ray of light from the heaven-defying bead? Wang Lin pondered, then his eyes lit up as he muttered, it would be good if it was the All-Seer. He withdrew his thoughts and no longer thought about this matter. Then he turned into a ray of light and flew off in the depths of space. The All-Seer's scheme has been broken, so there is no need to stay on planet Dalu. Now I need to make some preparations for heading to the demon spirit land. I control of the 4 caves, so I can take several people. As Wang Lin flew, several thoughts flew through his mind. Wang Lin didn't use spatial bending, so he wasn't fast as he flew through space like a ray of light. A few hours later, he saw an abandoned planet. Here is it. Wang Lin's figure didn't stop. He charged out toward the abandoned planet, creating sonic booms. The shape of this planet was very strange. It was not round, but crescent-shaped, as if something had taken a bite out of it. Every now and then, pieces of it would fall off and drift off into the distance. Wang Lin arrived near the planet in an instant, and in a flash, he charged through the atmosphere of the planet. There wasn't any spiritual energy coming from the planet, and even the atmosphere was extremely weak. When Wang Lin intruded, the atmosphere collapsed and disintegrated. As a result, without the protection of the atmosphere, the dust from space fell on the planet without protection. Dust storm raged across the planet. The earth was covered in cracks and there was no sign of life. It was filled with an aura of death. When Wang Lin landed, 2 rays of light flew toward him. One of the rays was large and the other small, and they quickly headed toward him. The big ray of light was obviously slower and was left behind. Wang Lin's expression was neutral and he even revealed a faint smile. The smaller ray of light instantly closed in. When the light dissipated, it revealed a strange figure. This person had a huge head but very thin body. There wasn't much hair on his head, and one could clearly see the shadow of the veins under his skin. Greetings, Master. This strange cultivator was Big Head. When Wang Lin went to planet Qianyun, he and Lei Ji were left here to wait for Wang Lin's summon. Lei Ji soon arrived, and when he landed, he looked respectfully at Wang Lin. He said, "Lei Ji greets Master." Big Head hesitated for a bit and asked, "Did Master's trip go well?" Wang Lin nodded toward them and slowly said, "It was fine, but a few problems occurred. I came here today to take you two to find a planet to go into closed-door cultivation. The environment on this planet is harsh and not suited for cultivation." Big Head nodded and said, "This place is indeed not suitable for closed-door cultivation. Not only is this place abandoned, a part of it collapses every so often." Wang Lin stopped wasting time talking and waved his sleeves. He took Big Head and Lei Ji off this abandoned planet and flew off into the stars. Among the stars, Lei Ji stretched out his limbs and knelt down. As he let out a roar, his body grew until he was 1,000 feet tall. Wang Lin landed on Lei Ji's back and sat down. Big Head followed Wang Lin and stood beside him like a guard. A shadow flickered behind Wang Lin and Tarshan came out with an indifferent expression. Wang Lin's right hand pointed forward and Lei Ji charged out with a roar. Along the way, Wang Lin was calm, but it was impossible to avoid encountering cultivators that belonged to planet Qianyun. Startled by Lei Ji, they would all get out of the way. No one dared to obstruct them. Which old monster is this to have such a big giant demon clan member as a mount? That cultivator sitting there seems familiar. I think I've seen him somewhere before. Forget about the mount, look at that two guards next to the old monster. What cultivation level are they? I am unable to see through them. I fear not even the head elder of our sect has this kind of aura. Along the way, everyone who saw Wang Lin would begin chattering and look at Wang Lin with respect. In the cultivation world, the strong had respect. Wang Lin sat on Lei Ji's back. Along the way, he was immersed in his origin energy and comprehending his peak nirvana scrya cultivation. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he thought in his heart, back then, my cultivation was at the early stage of nirvana scrya, and along with my ancient god body, I could battle early stage nirvana cleanser cultivators. Now that my cultivation level has increased to mid-stage nirvana scrya, early-stage nirvana cleanser cultivators are no longer a problem. I can now even stand up to mid-stage nirvana cleanser cultivators. Back then, Blood Ancestor was at the mid-stage of nirvana cleanser. If the current me went back in time, I should be able to fight him. Although the chance of victory is still small, if a mid-stage nirvana cleanser cultivator wants to kill me, it won't be so easy. At this moment, there was a boat-like object slowly moving forward about 5,000 kilometers away from Wang Lin. This boat was completely black and 300 feet long, and it emitted waves of fluctuations. Dense spiritual energy came from it. This made anyone who saw it realize it wasn't ordinary. There was a huge armchair on this boat, and there was an old man sitting on it. His body was extremely large, as if he was a mountain of flesh. Beside him were 7 or 8 beautiful women. Each of them were extremely flirtatious and wore silk dresses that were very revealing. They circled the old man with sweet talk that would occasionally make the old man laugh. Some of these women were holding wine jugs or fruits. Although some of them weren't carrying anything, they were behind the old man massaging his back. There were even 2 women laying in the old man's arms. They didn't seem to dislike this old man's mountain of flesh and spoke sweetly to him. There were 7 men in black robes standing around the old man and these alluring women. They stood there motionlessly, as if they were corpses, but a fierce aura came from them. Their cold gazes stared ahead, and they didn't utter a single word the whole time. There were hundreds of cultivators around the boat. They all wore blue and each one stood on a ray of sword energy. They were guards for the old man. The old man's big hand slapped the buttocks of one of the women in his arms. He laughed as he grabbed a cup of wine and drank. Just as he was about to speak, he frowned and looked ahead. No one else noticed the abnormality. The old man pondered for a bit before his eyes turned cold. He extended the cup in his hand to a woman nearby and calmly said, "Pour wine for me." The woman quickly picked up the wine jug and poured a full cup. Just at this moment, waves of fluctuations came from the distance. A figure was heading this way. It indeed is him. The fat on old man with the mountain of flesh body trembled and his eyes shined brightly. He took the cup of wine in his hand and drank it all in one gulp. At this moment, the 7 black-robed people on the boat raised their heads at the same time. Their eyes lit up and the 7 of them flew out in 7 rays of light at the same time. Person approaching, you have 3 seconds to get out of the way. Any offender will be killed. Coldness appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. Although he was immersed in his origin energy, his divine sense was spread out. The moment that old man with the body of a mountain of meat found Wang Lin also found the old man. Wang Lin knew this person. It was the cultivator with the mountain of flesh body who spoke harshly and was very impolite to Wang Lin. Facing the 7 rays formed by 7 men in black and the raw, Wang Lin sneered. Let's use you to see if my current cultivation can beat early-stage Nirvana cleanser cultivators. Big Head licked his lips and bloodthirst filled his eyes. It had been a long time since he killed anyone. When he saw the 7 men in black, killing intent couldn't help but appear in his heart. Big Head respectfully asked, Master, can I kill them? As you wish. Wang Lin's voice was calm, but it caused Big Head to suddenly raise his head and step out. He was too fast and disappeared in a flash. The old man's expression was gloomy as he stared at Lei Ji, who was getting closer and closer. His eyes revealed a strange light as he carefully looked at Lei Ji, and greed appeared in his heart. A giant demon clan mount is indeed a good thing. For Wang Lin to meet this old man is his misfortune. That big-headed guard is a Nirvana scryer cultivator. And that puppet also has some strength. Although this Wang Lin can battle Ling Qianhu, that was simply due to the power of his treasure. Who doesn't have treasures? Big Head took a step and arrived before the 7 men in black. He let out a smile as his right hand reached toward one of them. These 7 men were all above the ascendant stage, illusory yin to be precise. As Big Head reached out, the 7 of them moved very fast and formed a formation to pour all their power into one person. The man in the lead raised his right hand, formed a seal, and pointed at Big Head. The last person of the 7 immediately became dispirited and weak. Then the 6th person from the back was the same, and this continued as all their power entered the first person in front. Finally, all the power shot out from the seal made by the first person. A black tiger appeared and charged at Big Head with a roar. Big Head laughed as he mercilessly squeezed his hand without hesitation. Just at this moment, the eyes of the old man on the boat lit up and he raised his right hand and pointed forward. A ray of black light shot out at a very fast speed toward Big Head. Wang Lin was sitting on Lei Ji's back and his eyes lit up. With one step, he walked off Lei Ji and appeared next to Big Head. Wang Lin didn't even look at the black light and casually waved his hand. There was a loud bang and the black light collapsed. Wang Lin calmly looked at the old man and slowly said, "Do you dare to battle me?" The old man frowned and sneered. "Junior, it seems you think you can challenge me because of your battle with Ling Qianhu." His body shot out from the boat and his right hand formed a seal. With a point of his finger, a giant illusion appeared behind him. This illusion was a stone tablet, and it emitted a golden glow that lit up the area. "Celestial tablet soul destruction," the old man shouted as the illusion flew out. His right hand formed a seal, and with a point of his finger, the stone tablet was going to mercilessly smash down on Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression was calm. He formed a fist and threw a punch before taking a step forward. This punch contained his mid-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation and his ancient god power. His mid-stage Nirvana Scryer cultivation allowed him to reach his peak power, like what he showed in the void, without turning into a 1,000-foot ancient god. If he took the form of an ancient god, Wang Lin was confident in battling mid-stage Nirvana cleanser cultivators. His punch created a sonic boom that echoed across space and opened a large amount of spatial cracks. This wasn't even the real power behind the punch. When Wang Lin threw the punch, an illusion of a fist of a 1,000-foot ancient god appeared. It was as if this punch was thrown by Wang Lin and the illusionary ancient god. This scene shocked the old man greatly. When the ancient god arm appeared, a savage aura came with it. This aura was filled with heaven-defying arrogance and tyrannical nature that would destroy the world. All power that blocked it must break. Must shatter. Before, Wang Lin couldn't easily form the shadow of an ancient god arm with just a punch. He would have to use his full power to make an arm appear, but even then, the arm would be much more transparent. However, right now he could casually throw these kinds of punches. With one punch, the stone tablet didn't even get close to Wang Lin, it just collided with the punch. The stone tablet was unexpectedly fragile and collapsed on contact. It shattered into countless fragments and was blown back. The old man was startled and his expression became gloomy. However, just at this moment, the punch Wang Lin threw closed in. Bursts of sonic booms could be heard. The old man let out a cold snort as he moved his hand and 9 runes appeared. They stacked together and shot toward Wang Lin's fist. The moment they closed in on Wang Lin's fist, the old man's eyes turned cold and he shouted, "Explode!" Boom, boom, boom. The violent explosion was heaven-shaking and the shockwave spread like crazy. The black boat was immediately pushed back, and even Lei Ji had to retreat. As for the cultivators led by the old man, they retreated as well. Only Big Head grinned as he charged into the 7 people in black, while Wang Lin and the old man fought. Bodies collapsed and blood splashed everywhere. A few drops landed near his mouth, and Big Head licked them with his tongue. When the 9 runes exploded, not only did the old man's expression not lighten up, he became more shocked. He retreated without hesitation. After the 9 runes collapsed, Wang Lin walked out completely unscathed. The impact just now was dissolved by him with just one punch. It looks like I really do have the power to kill early-stage Nirvana cleanser cultivators. Wang Lin slowly walked toward the old man. The old man's face was pale. Even until now, he still couldn't believe Wang Lin had such strength. Back then, when he saw Wang Lin and Ling Qianhu's battle, he thought it was because Wang Lin relied on treasures and Ling Qianhu was holding back. However, now he got a good feel of the powerful aura from Wang Lin's body. There was a flash of killing intent in the old man's eyes. He had always been a ruthless person, and he already had killing intent from the moment he saw Wang Lin. This killing intent came from the greed in his heart. Not only was he greedy for the giant demon clan mount, he was even more greedy for that celestial cave key. If I kill him, I can obtain the celestial cave key. That would benefit me greatly during the trip to the demon spirit land. The old man licked his lips and then his hand pointed at his body several times. Every time he pointed, his body would tremble. As his hands continued, his body trembled and he retreated while revealing a ferocious expression. The old man mercilessly pushed his hand forward as he shouted, "Wang Lin, if you are smart, hand over the key to the cave and that giant demon clan mount and I'll let you live. Otherwise, stay." His body began to move in a strange way. The old man's originally fat body became thinner. However, a terrifying aura began to gather as his body thinned. Then a ray of bright light came from between his eyebrows. Gather the scattered dust. The old man's body continued to become thinner until he was only skin and bones. He now looked like a skeleton. The light between his eyebrows shined brightly and shot toward Wang Lin. The moment this powerful light spread out, Wang Lin's eyes turned cold. Although he didn't know what that light was, he felt a hint of danger from it. These Nirvana cleanser old monsters can't be underestimated. Although this person is only at early stage of Nirvana cleanser, this battle would have been difficult if I didn't have my ancient god body. In particular, this spell that gathered the essence of his flesh to form a powerful ray of light is extraordinary. Wang Lin's right hand reached at the void and a rumbling sound appeared. The world's origin energy gathered like crazy and a spatial crack appeared. There was a flash of red as the god-slaying spear appeared in Wang Lin's hand. "You are qualified for me to use this." Wang Lin grabbed the illusionary god-slaying spear and threw it. The spear turned into a ray of red light toward the bright light coming at Wang Lin. The moment the god-slaying spear flew out, that savage aura reached a peak. As the spear flew, its powerful aura swept across the world. There was a heaven-shaking explosion when the god-slaying spear and the bright light collided. Loud explosions echoed and the bright light weakened. It only took a few breaths of time for the bright light to collapse. The god-slaying spear charged at the old man. The old man was aghast at the situation and disbelief filled his eyes. He wanted to retreat, but he was far slower than the god-slaying spear, and it was about to pierce through him. Just at this instant, the old man slapped his bag of holding and a small, green shield appeared in his hand. He moved the shield before him and it collided with the god-slaying spear. The small shield trembled and he was pushed back, but no crack appeared on the shield. The old man coughed out a mouthful of blood and used blood escape to run with the small shield. The speed of a Nirvana cleanser cultivator using blood escape was unimaginable. The moment the old man took out the shield, Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly. He could feel a faint ancient god aura coming from the small shield. Ancient god treasure. Seeing the old man escape, the god-slaying spear continued to attack before it turned more transparent and finally dissipated. There was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes as he took a step and ripples appeared under his feet. This was the first time Wang Lin had used spatial bending within the influence of planet Qianyun. He suddenly merged with the world and disappeared. The old man's heart trembled when he saw this scene. His scalp went numb and he was about to lose his wits. Without hesitation, he coughed out more blood to use blood escape to run away. Sweat came out from his forehead and he screamed in his heart, "Spatial bending! This Wang Lin knows spatial bending." Spatial bending was not something everyone knew. Knowing spatial bending meant you had the qualification to be invincible among cultivators of equal cultivation level. This Perron's cultivation level is higher than mine and he knows spatial bending. This battle, the old man's face was pale and fear filled his eyes. As he retreated, ripples appeared beside him and Wang Lin walked out. Wang Lin's right hand formed a fist and he threw a punch without hesitation. He was simply too close to the old man. The moment he raised his fist, he was less than 7 inches from him. From a distance, it looked like the old man was running into the fist. The ancient god aura from the fist formed a storm and was about to devour the old man. The old man's pupils shrank and he quickly shouted, "Fellow cultivator, have mercy. Please, listen to my words. Just once." The old man's face was pale and his heart pounded like crazy. It had been a long time since he was met with such a life and death crisis. His entire body was numb and he abandoned his dignity to say such words. Wang Lin's right suddenly stopped when his fist was only 1 inch away from the old man's nose. He coldly stared at the old man. The old man's forehead was covered in sweat as he looked at the fist before him. He could clearly feel the power within the punch. If this punch landed on him, his body would certainly collapse. Once his body was destroyed, it was unlikely his origin soul could escape. Since fellow cultivator is going to the celestial cave in the demon spirit land and will definitely need help, I'm willing to do my best to help to compensate for today's matter. Wang Lin's eyes were cold, and it was impossible to see through him. Before Wang Lin's gaze, the old man complained in his heart and said, "In addition, I'll give fellow cultivator this magic shield. This is the most powerful protective treasure I have. If fellow cultivator has it, it will help you greatly in the celestial cave." As the old man spoke, he wiped away his imprint on the shield and handed it over to Wang Lin. Wang Lin pondered a bit and slowly withdrew his fist. He took the shield and put it away after carefully looking at it. When the old man saw Wang Lin withdraw his fist, he let out a sigh of relief before carefully looking at Wang Lin. Wang Lin raised his right hand and formed a seal. With a wave of his hand, a restriction flew out. It was the same slave imprint as the one used on Big Head, and it landed between the old man's eyebrows. The old man didn't dare to resist and allowed Wang Lin to place the seal. The seal flashed several times between the old man's eyebrows before disappearing. "Take care of your affairs and follow me." Wang Lin didn't even look at the old man before disappearing. When he reappeared, he was standing on Lei Ji's back. Then he sat down. The 7 men in black had already been killed by Big Head. Licking his lips, Big Head returned to Wang Lin's side. The old man let out a sigh and then returned to the boat in a flash. He summoned all his disciples, and after giving some orders, he let them leave with the boat. He arrived on Lei Ji's back before Wang Lin and wryly smiled. Following fellow cultivator's order, I have dealt with all the trivial matters. My real name is Chen Feng and my nickname is Master Hollow Wind. Today I lost a fellow cultivator and have no regrets. I, Chen Feng, will adhere to my promise to help you in the demon spirit land. However, I hope that after we come back, fellow cultivator will release the seal and there will be no grudges between us. Wang Lin calmly looked at Chen Feng and slowly said, my seal is not strong. If you want to release it, you can easily do it. Chen Feng bitterly smiled and shook his head. He had already checked the seal, so he knew it was something that could only seal Nirvana Scryer cultivators. If he wanted to, it wouldn't take long for him to break it. However, he didn't dare to take the risk, and he dreaded this Wang Lin even more because of this. In his view, this was a trap. If he really believed Wang Lin and tried to break it, it would probably set off a chain reaction and activate something even stronger. At that moment, the consequences would be something he couldn't withstand. Wang Lin wouldn't dare to be so careless if that wasn't the case. This person's schemes run deep, so I can't underestimate him. How can this compare to a Nirvana cleanser seal? Although that would make me temporarily yield, I would be constantly thinking of ways to break it. However, he made the seal look like it could break with one touch, but in reality, it has a trap hidden in it. How would I dare to touch such a seal? The old man bitterly smiled. This was Wang Lin's true purpose. After all, his true cultivation level was only peak mid-stage Nirvana Scryer, so how could he seal a Nirvana cleanser cultivator? He could only rely on schemes. This scheme formed an invisible seal, and if used properly, it was stronger than any seal in the world. Wang Lin calmly said, if you listen to my orders, I'll return you your freedom when we leave the demon spirit land. Chen Feng nodded and no longer wasted any words before sitting down. At this moment, his body was extremely skinny, but after cultivating for a while, he slowly swelled up again. The cultivation method he has is very strange. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze. He knew that Chen Feng was cultivating to show him his intent. Chen Feng was implying that he would prepare himself for the demon spirit land and would work for his freedom. With this person's help, my chances in the demon spirit land have increased a bit. Unfortunately, I still don't have enough people. Wang Lin let out a sigh as Lei Ji charged through the stars. Along the way, they remained silent. Soon, a blue planet appeared before them. This planet was very beautiful and gave off a rich aura of spiritual energy. This is planet Water Spirit, and it belongs to the three Chen brothers. It is said that the planet was named after a junior of Master Yi Chen, Chen Feng said as he opened his eyes. There was a trace of evil intent in his eyes. He was very moved by that woman with the water spirit body. If not for the fact that he dreaded the person behind the three Chen brothers, he would have already taken her and made her his cultivation furnace. The three Chen brothers. Wang Lin looked at the blue planet, but after pondering a bit, he decided to leave. Although this planet was very suitable for his closed-door cultivation, it was not convenient for him to steal the planet, because he knew the brothers. Just as he was about to leave, 3 rays of light flew out from the blue planet. These 3 rays of light were like 3 dragons that roared as they charged out. Fellow cultivators, why are you guys loitering before our planet? Master Yi Chen roared. Eh? After Master Yi Chen finished speaking, he immediately noticed something. The roar suddenly stopped and 3 people walked out of the rays of light. It was the 3 Chen brothers. The 3 of them had just returned. Due to the incident, the Ghost Eye auction was terminated before it even started, so the 3 of them left. While they were cultivating in their own cultivation planet, he felt the auras of 2 second-step cultivators outside their planet, so the 3 of them flew out without hesitation. When they saw Lei Ji's giant body, although their expressions remained neutral, they were shocked on the inside. For someone in the Alliance to have a giant demon clan mount, they basically had to be an old monster like Ling Qianhu and the All-Seer. Then the 3 of them saw the people on Lei Ji's back. When they saw Wang Lin, they were startled. Master Yi Chen saw the battle between Wang Lin and the All-Seer, and he was sure Wang Lin was dead. Now that he saw Wang Lin again, he felt respect for him after the initial shock. To be able to make Ling Qianhu and the All-Seer fight due to him, this master demon is not simple. However, today they were destined to be confused, because they saw Chen Feng. Chen Feng's name was famous on planet Tianyun. Although he couldn't compare to Blood Ancestor back then, he was still considered a famous old monster. This person was known for living a lustful life, and he even had ideas about Linger. Although he gave up later, he still made the Chen brothers worried for a long time. Although Chen Feng had become a lot thinner, the three of them still recognized him. Aside from the shock, they weren't sure if the current situation was good or bad. For a moment, the three couldn't help but silently ponder. Chen Feng smiled mischievously and said, "Chen brothers, how about you give planet water spirit to this old man?" The Chen brothers' expressions changed and they were about to speak when Wang Lin calmly said, "Noisy." Chen Feng's mind trembled. Although Wang Lin's voice was calm, he could feel discontent in it. He wouldn't dare to offend Wang Lin right now. He quickly smiled and no longer dared to speak. This scene startled the three Chen brothers once more. "Fellow cultivator Master Yi Chen, we just separated, and I didn't expect to meet you again so soon. I didn't know this planet belonged to you. I'll leave and find another planet to go into closed-door cultivation." Wang Lin clasped his hands at the three Chen brothers. Master Yi Chen quickly clasped his hands, but his heart was in shock. He didn't expect Chen Feng to reveal signs of fear with just one word from Wang Lin. Master Yi Chen clasped his hands and said, "Fellow cultivator Wang, I didn't know you and Senior Master Hollow Wind were. He is my servant." Wang Lin didn't say more. He nodded at Master Yi Chen and was about to leave. He didn't know that his words were no different than tens of thousands of bolts of thunder exploding in the Chen brothers' ears at the same time. The three of them gasped and shock filled their eyes. Master Yi Chen quickly said without any hesitation, "Brother Wang Lin, don't be in a rush to leave. Planet Water Spirit is very large. If Brother Wang doesn't mind, you can cultivate here. This person has a giant demon clan member as a mount, is a Nirvana cleanser cultivator, and made the famous Master Hollow Wind his servant. There is also that strange big-headed cultivator who is at the Nirvana Scryer stage, and the puppet is obviously not weak. I must become friends with someone like this." This video will end here.